Coming up on Ponies All-Access.
Ready!
We'll take you inside the first boys basketball practice with Brady Hannigan wired for sound.
Monte, let's give it up over there.
After a 2-7 season, what does the future hold for Ponies football? We'll sit down with head football coach Bo LeBoer.
Well, there's no question that our young men were disappointed. Our coaching staff was disappointed.
Girls swimming and diving have paved a path of excellence for more than a decade. We'll find out what keeps Coach Brian Luke motivated for more.
I love this. I truly love this.
Plus recaps of state tournament runs for boys soccer and volleyball and a peek at the Yokanovich girls hockey twins. And hello everybody, and welcome to the very first edition of Ponies All-Access. I'm your host and Impact TV Sports Director, Ted LaRue. Now, as we're kind of coming up with the concept of this show 4 months ago, 3 months ago, when I came in here to VAC TV in August, I'm thinking, what program are we going to feature first? What program are we really going to shine the spotlight on to really kick off Ponies All-Access? And there was one that really stood out to me: girls swimming and diving. Success has been ongoing throughout the entire 43-year coaching reign of Brian Luke. Here's a look at this historic program. In high school sports, there's good, and then there's Stillwater swimming and diving good.
Our last loss was to Elk River, the first meet of 2003. We got on a run. I didn't even know about it until we hit about 90-something, and somebody mentioned it, and we've been on it ever since.
147 straight dual wins, 14 consecutive Suburban East Conference championships, 15 consecutive section titles. Numbers that only a third-generation Luke could break.
The previous quote-unquote record for longest consecutive dual meet victories in girls swimming was held by my father's team. Yeah, you'd think he would have been a little upset, but actually he was quite proud of the fact that his son broke it, I guess. I mean, it's better his son than some stranger. Once he retired from Hopkins, he came over and started helping us. And then when they moved to assisted living, he was in the Stillwater, so he could come every day. The girls called him Grandpa. He was just a fixture here. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago. But until that point, I mean, he was as much Stillwater as anybody.
Brian Luke has been coaching swimming at Stillwater High School since 1974. Over 4 decades teaching the ways of the water, and swimmers and divers of past and present all have words and feelings and moments to describe swimming in his program.
We were all afraid of him. I got thrown into the pool.
Really tiring, exhausting.
But swimming at Stillwater truly is an experience of a lifetime that these young girls take with them for the rest of their lives.
It's really fun. There's so much team bonding. I feel like it's not like a regular team because it is an individual and a team sport. So we work really hard trying to incorporate everyone to feel like a member of this team, that everyone's important.
By swimming, you learn a lot about like what you're like capable of. Like I remember at one meet, I was supposed to come in like 10th or 11th, and I ended up coming in 4th. So I think it just shows you that you can do like a lot more than you think you're capable of.
Now, as for the coaches, diving coach Carrie Madline has seen almost as much as Brian from both sides of this storied program.
I was on the second team ever, and there were only 8 of us on the team. But it was like, you respected him very much, you know, and he was a good coach back then too. But it was kind of a little different than when I'm coaching with him, and we've become friends over the years and stuff, but it was fun.
Carrie and Brian come to practice every day with a smile on their face, looking to continue the awesome legacy of this program, and they wouldn't have it any other way.
This is my happy place in life. If I'm having a rotten day or whatever, I just get here and it's all away, and just these girls are awesome, and I might cry because I'm a crier. The personalities that they have, it's just fun. It's really fun to be here and be a part of this program.
I love this. I truly love this.
And And what a historic legacy Coach Brian Luke has left for the Stillwater girls swimming and diving team. Here's to even more success, more section titles, more dual wins. We'll see just how high they can get that tally in the coming years. Now, switching from the water to the hardwood, just behind me here a couple of weeks ago, head boys basketball coach Brady Hannigan granted me an all-access pack to allow me to kind of put a wireless mic on him for the very first practice of the season. Here's inside the program into the boys basketball team.
Ready? Push, man, explode. Coach Peterson, how you doing? If your guy's on your high side, you're trying to ride him up, trying to push him up, right? Where do we want the ball for pushing him up? Low, right? And we're calling out low. If he switches back over now to our low side, I'm going to ride him low, high. You're getting tired now. You're getting tired. Devontae, let's give it up over there. Our post players, our power forwards, our centers, you guys set the tone with being physical. Someone comes through, right? We're not dirty, we're not illegal, right? But we're making sure we're physical with people in here. When we're posting people up, right? We're making sure we're the one that's creating the contact if there's contact, right? We're the one having great footwork, right, and sealing these guys on our butts. We set the tone for the rest of this team, right? We got 2 O-linemen here, right? 2 football O-linemen. You guys set the tone for the football team on how physical a team we're going to be. Here, same thing, our centers, our big men, you guys set the tone for how physical we're going to be here. Right, and we got to do that every day. Every rep counts. Champions know that every rep counts. All you have to do is catch it and drop. If I have him sealed and I turn around like this, now I just lost all of my positioning and he's able to try to get in front of me when it comes to doing the layup. Barkley! If anybody's ever watched old film on YouTube, go look up Charles Barkley. The only reason you know him is because he says nonsense on TNT now. He used to be a pretty good ball player. So what he was known for is playing out on the perimeter and then getting into the paint. So what we're going to do is we'll take advantage. We don't got the biggest guys this year, but we still want to get the ball into the paint. So you'll pop your feet on the catch, you'll get in like you drove, and you'll just Barkley around like you're backing somebody down and moving in the post. What that looks like on an actual court is if you were to come in, catch the ball here, right? And then you were going to go in here and maybe change directions in the post. It's taking that ball as an outside perimeter guy into the post. So the Barkley, you're going to Barkley around the circle, pass it back. Matt Moore, this is going to be your thing, man. You're going to be able to play outside, dribble, get into the Barkley, and make a post move. All right, this is your thing. We take one extra dribble, Nash pass right underneath. One, two, three, together.
Another big thank you to Brady Hannigan and the boys basketball team. Make sure to catch highlights of them on our Facebook, our Twitter, and our YouTube as their season gets underway. Coming up after the break, football didn't have a great year, a 2-7 season, but they're looking to use that as a building block going forward to 2018. We sat down with head coach Bo Labor to talk about his message to the fans and how they can improve going forward. 2017 wasn't exactly the year Bo Labor and the Stillwater Ponies football team had in mind, a 2-7 season. No wins just across the way at the renovated Pony Stadium. Their 2 wins came on the road against White Bear Lake and Mounds View. But as we look forward to 2018, the future is bright and the future is hopeful, and Bo Labor still remains optimistic as they look forward to Pony football in the coming years. To say the season didn't go as planned for the Pony football team would be quite the understatement. The Red and Black tallied just 2 wins in total in 2017, and head coach Bo Labor understands going through a season like that is tough on everybody involved.
There's no question that our young men were disappointed. Our coaching staff was disappointed. We felt like we could have had a better season if we would have done some things better. And so there's some disappointment that comes with a 2-7 season. We had some great moments. We had a couple of real high moments. We overcame some adversity in a couple of different situations. But unfortunately, we weren't as successful on the field. Didn't enjoy Friday nights as much as we have ordinarily and as much as we want to. But I think we take the time to emphasize the good things that we did make happen and the experiences that our young men have going forward.
Now, as Stillwater looks ahead, it is extremely tough for LeBoer to know that this senior class left after this type of season.
It hurt to know that our seniors didn't get to win a game at Pony Stadium, and no less a renovated Pony Stadium. It hurt that they weren't able to accomplish some of the goals that they set out for themselves. And so naturally, you know, you want to let them know that that you hurt for them, and that we wish we could have done something more. That we hope we learned some valuable lessons along the way, and that they'll identify the experiences, relationships, and different things that they enjoyed along the way to carry forward. Because when it's all said and done, the wins and losses, they're primarily irrelevant compared to the learning opportunities, the experiences, and the relationships that they hopefully built along the way.
2017 is behind. It's in the past. It's in the rearview mirror. And the future is all about 2018 on the banks of the St. Croix. And according to LeBoer, the path to success starts in one place, the weight room.
Hopefully the majority of our football players spend a great deal of time in this facility. It's one of the nicest in the state at this point. And they've got to spend time getting bigger, stronger, and faster if they're going to have success on the football field. Many of our athletes will be in winter sports or spring sports, but we hope that their teams will find a way to get into the weight room, or they'll get into the weight room in class and work that into their off seasons. And then obviously the summer is pretty well dedicated to any of their sports, but the focal point needs to be again here in the weight room.
Bo LeBoer very confident in the future. He's very optimistic. A lot of those kids are going to get into the weight room here just down the hallway at the new part of Stillwater Area High School. So I talked to him about his pick for the Prep Bowl. The man was right. Eden Prairie took it home. So you know he's got a great football mind. Moving from the football field to the girls' hockey rink, it's a young team this year. They're already underway, doing well. They've got 4 seniors on this team, so a very young team. The future is bright, but for now, 2 of those seniors live in the same household. Ava and Maya Jokanovic have been great so far on the ice this season. They've been great through all of their pony hockey career in high school and in youth hockey. We take a look, part 1 of our look at the Jokanovic twins.
Since 9th grade, when we were our freshman year, when we were on JV together, we've always kind of been on the same line. We argue over left wing, but one of us usually folds and plays right. So,
Well, to be completely fair, I don't know what it would be like not to have a sister, to always have someone to talk to and relate with. So, I mean, it's been really nice though. We can always talk it out. I never have any like built up feelings towards something, because I can always relate with someone about it. So Maya's always there for me.
As we said, that's just part 1 of our look at the Jokanovic twins. Part 2, a more detailed look at their history, you know, growing up, how they became in love with hockey so much, and how they've had such a great friendship as sisters throughout. That's part 2. It's going to come in a later episode of Ponies All-Access. Now, coming up after the break, what a season this year in the fall for boys soccer and volleyball. Both made trips to the state tournament. We're going to welcome in Mike Beaton, our special correspondent, coming up to talk about it all. Here we are. We got somebody new. Mike Beaton here with us, special correspondent, and he covered state volleyball for us. He also knows a little bit about the boys soccer teams as well. Those are 2 programs that both went to state tournaments. Boys soccer went all the way into the state championship game. We'll start with them. This was a boys soccer team. Lost a lot from last year's team that beat Wayzata in the state championship game, and this was a season that really, I don't think they were expected to maybe go all the way, but in the end, they made a great run.
Well, they talked about graduations being the great equalizer in high school soccer, but you have the culture established and just the motivation to get back into state. And you know, who would have thought they would have had a rematch with Wayzata? It was the Trojans winning this battle, and you know, maybe down the road this could spark a new rivalry of sorts. You know, you've got a West Metro and East Metro school,
exactly.
But considering everything that Stillwater had, you know, they had a strong regular season, picked up a lot of big wins, so maybe it was a little surprising. But you know, if you're a follower of boys soccer, it's one of those situations where it's not a one-off fad. You know, this Stillwater boys soccer program, is going to be fun to watch over the coming years.
Coach Smothers has them ready to go, and here's what Coach Smothers had to say about his team that really exceeded expectations this season.
The majority of this group of players, I started coaching in club at 12. They have exceeded expectations as young players. They've continued to push and climb and develop, and to get to this point after what we did last year and who we lost, I couldn't be prouder of them. And we had 5 kids out there at the end of the game that didn't see a second of state tournament soccer unless it was a blowout. And for them to go out there and battle a very good Wayzata team and give us a chance to draw and maybe win something late or win it in overtime, that's what you want from your team, from your players.
As we mentioned in the open of this segment, volleyball, another team, you kind of got to see them at the X in the state tournament and throughout sections as well. This was a Stillwater volleyball team that was towards the top of the conference in the regular season, towards the top of the section, as we got there, eventually section champions, defeating North St. Paul in the state championship game. But this volleyball team, they did stumble during the state tournament. But what's maybe one word you would use to kind of characterize the run and the season for Pony volleyball this year?
That's a tough question because it would take more than one word to summarize the brilliance and the talent that they brought this year. But I would just say they were impressive.
Okay.
They hadn't been to state in 8 years and had come oh so close. Got knocked off by Roseville a year ago. Roseville fell off a bit. That opened the door for the Ponies. And it says something when they got the number 1 seed in their section, so they were able to host up until the section final at Washington. Kayla Jurdy really made a mark on me when I covered them in their section run. She was the leader of this team. Not the most telegenic presence, at least early on, but she made up for that with that serve and that spike of hers. Yes, I think your volleyball skills, the bump set and spike are more important. But she's going to be leaving next year. Rachel Houle was one of their standouts. Her season or her career isn't quite done yet. You'll get to see her on the basketball team this winter. But they do have some leadership coming up in Reese Kohler. She had quite the run during section and state tournament play. And unfortunately, they weren't able to contend with the likes. They got Lakeville North in the quarters. They won the championship. And then Champlain Park, who in all likelihood should have been in the championship bracket, but some extracurricular stuff changed that. That being said, they have a lot to be proud of. I spoke with Rachel Houle not long after the volleyball season ended because she had to go right into basketball and said she loved going to the Axe. So even though they weren't able to take a set there, what they were able to build after several years of kind of working their way up, that's a fulcrum, a blueprint that could be useful in future seasons. But look for Reese Kohler to take the leadership role on next year's Stillwater team.
And Coach Fisher and company they were just proud of the experience, happy about the experience getting back to state.
It's only our second time here, but these guys have played a real tough schedule against real good teams. I don't think after the first half a dozen points it affected us at all. In fact, it was kind of fun. It kept them motivated.
I think it was a little nerve-wracking coming in. We're like, we're playing in the X, all these huge fans, big lights, and we just kind of used it in warm-ups and got used to it.
All right, thanks to Mike Peden, special correspondent. Stick around. You'll see more of Mike coming up in future episodes of Ponies All-Access and, of course, our highlights coverage as Ponies Athletics goes all over the metro area. Coming up after the break, we're going to count down the top 5 plays that VAC TV cameras got in the fall season. Stick around. Now, I've been working here at VAC TV since August. I had to jump right into the pool, so to speak, in terms of these plays, in terms of the coverage of Stillwater area sports. And right away in the fall season, there were some great plays for not only me, but all of the Pony fans out there to kind of take a look at. And here we go, the top 5 plays as filmed by VAC TV from this fall. What a season, what a show so far. Let's take a look. Number 5, top plays of the fall. Volleyball constellation Olivia Walsh getting on the floor, showing the hustle. That's what the knee pads are there for. Getting on the floor, keeping the ball alive, getting the point for the Ponies. Good job getting to state. Ladies, we go to number 4. Keep sticking with the girls. Crossover in the section quarters for Megan Howard on the soccer pitch. Crossing over like AI. That was the answer in this game. The crossover and going all the way with the finish. It's the cherry on top of the sundae. Ponies would advance through that section quarterfinal game. We head to number 3, going to the gridiron regular season against Eastridge. Mark Retker, the fake throw into Cooper Yuri, hitting that circle button. I was more of an NCAA football guy than a Madden. Either way, the circle button works on the PlayStation anytime. And Cooper Yuri, wow, nice move, taking it to the house. Stillwater, more from Cooper in a little bit. Number 2 on the Soccer Punch state quarterfinals against Apple Valley, Spencer Scott dudes got mad hops, rising above everybody, heading in, breaking the deadlock late in the game. Stillwater would go on to the state championship. What a season for boys soccer once again. Head to the number 1 play of the fall. And I shot it. I'm pretty proud of this one. Hand off to Matt Crowell. Reverse. Coming around to Cooper Yeary. There he is once again, taking it to the house. The Ponies would defeat White Bear Lake in their first win of the year. But it's nothing without the block. Springing it with the block, Cooper Yeary. He ran actually this fast. And what a season it was this fall season. Congratulations, boys soccer, volleyball, girls swimming, doing great, of course. A lot of great teams in the fall season. And we're going to have some coverage coming up in the winter, in the spring as well. So stay tuned to Ponies All-Access, Comcast Channel 15, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. It's going to be all over the place, so make sure to spread the word and tell your friends. Once again, for VAC TV Sports, I'm Ted LaRue. Thanks for watching the very first edition of Ponies All-Access.